And we are live. Welcome to a very, very special edition of the Armchair NBA. I'm your co-host, Tom Lavecchia, with my fellow, I guess I could call you co-host now, not a guest,
Yeah.
Brooklyn guy, Vinny Bracco. Vinny, how you doing today?
How are you?
I'm well, man. I'm well. So I just wanted to jump on a little bit, a quick live before football and family day starts, and just kind of go over some of the events that have been transpiring recently. Some really good stuff, and kind of really excited about it. So let's have thank you, Aussie. Let's have some people jump in while we're loading up. Joe's picking out a hat, and the Mohawk is putting some gel on. They'll be here shortly. Well, Mohawk is going to be late, but Jason was supposed to come on. That's the only thing. Hey, Ramondi. Thank you, Aussie Freedom. So, salute Big Lou. Sorry for making you wait. Big Lou is like freaking out because we're late. He's a timely guy, so we need to make sure we're timely for him. Hey, Vinny. Hey, Tom. And just super good stuff going on. Gregory. So, Vinny, I want to start off with, we're going to talk about how the fundraising went yesterday and the charities that we're working on. You're kind of leading the St. Jude's, and I'm leading the other two. So can you just go a little bit about why it was so important? Because I think you talked a little bit more on your channel, but why was it so important for you to really kind of go all in on St. Jude's?
Because of the little boy that my family watched over for a year, unofficially adopted him, was going to, and he passed away at 5 years of age. And I was like a big brother, and he was 31 pounds when he passed. And it always stuck with me. And then as you get older, sometimes you get a little softer, and started really sticking to me every day instead of every week. And I felt I had to do something, and I'm glad I am in the middle of it, and I'll always be dedicated to it.
And what was the baby's name? Forgive me.
Daryl.
Daryl. So this is dedicated to Daryl. I always say behind every sub is a human, is a person, and behind every person is a story. And we all have our stories. And what I'm a little frustrated about, which again we're going to remain positive today, there was kind of other creators out there kind of saying that what we were doing, and we means you and me. So if if it's like they talk about you, they talk about me, they talk about me, they talk about you. And what's interesting is um, there was kind of a thought that we were like pulling a little bit of a scam. What's your thoughts on that? Because I just want to like rip that band-aid off and then talk about all the positive stuff from the day.
I think that if you put a gun, proverbial, metaphorically speaking, gun to their head, they knew it wasn't a scam. They want to talk. A lot of them are trolls, and they want to talk. It gives them something to get people angry about. I think people knew it was real. And the thing about yesterday for me was meeting some of the people that I've become friendly with, that you've become friendly with,
Yep.
Joey and Jason, and just how wonderful they are, and how meaningful the day was to them, that they wanted to be involved. They drove an hour away, 2 hours. BK Skip, Mike had a trip to Vermont, and he postponed it and had to drive late at night to get to Vermont because he couldn't miss what we were doing. And he's an hour and a half
Yeah.
from here, and then had to backtrack to go to Vermont. So when you see that kind of effort from people that you've really just recently met, I think you realize how good these people are, and that's why we're in this. And yesterday I got out with a feeling, all right, people talk, and I just ignore them because they're not worth my thought or time. But
Yeah.
to see how people react and get to Front Street when you're there alone and try to stand beside you, it was amazing. And I'm so glad. If I ever had a doubt about being on YouTube, it was alleviated yesterday.
Well, the other part is, and I'll get into a little bit of what happened on Friday. Is Jocelyn became my wife. I'm officially
Yes.
married, and um, we were maybe gonna go away for the. We're doing a big reception later. I'm gonna do our vows later, like with more expanded family and friends, including yourself and the four horsemen. Um, and with that being said, um, she could have been like, you know what, like, because I wanted to set it for Saturday because just it kind of worked out where we get to where we had it in a second. And she could have been like, you know what, screw you, we're going away for the weekend, or that's our first Saturday, husband and wife. But she was there with the baby, supportive. They came toy shopping with us. My wife now, she's also pregnant, so the last thing she wants to be doing is sitting in the cold. It's really important for me, is to stay away from the toxicity. Grazie, Mimo. And to just really move forward in a positive direction, and which is our charitable work, doing stuff for our families. And I got some pretty big guests coming on too, which I think will be fun. What I want to do real quick, I just want to spend a minute on some of the photos from yesterday. So from left to right, you got, well, my left to right, so forgive me. You got Michael. I'll just use first names. I don't know if they want me to use last names. You got the man himself, Vinny Bracco. You got Jason. Mohawk was out of this picture. And then you have Ryan. So they came. We set up in front of the UPS store in Summit and Starbucks. There was actually a fantastic singer, Adam, next door. And our goal was to fill up that box. So one of the guys helping fill it up is Mr. Ryan. We went to the Toy Professor, which is a small business in Summit. That's part of what we wanted to do, is we wanted to support a small business. And Vinny, I'll show your video in a minute. There's Michael. Again, gas, tolls, to come to Jersey is like $50, and then for Michael to come and Ryan to come and spend all day. I mean, these are just quality guys. Here's just some of the toys that we got. We were a little strategic on the toys. We try to, cover both genders. We try to stay away too much from, we got a little hockey set and stuff we had to, but we try to, and we put the batteries in there, but we try to stay away from too many battery end toys. Some families, and they were brought to our attention, some families don't have batteries, like how crazy is that? So we put the batteries.
You wouldn't think of that. You wouldn't think of that.
And the batteries, we bought the batteries and put them in the toys. We got some recreational toys. I had to buy chess. My sons play chess. It's one of my favorite pastimes with my son. We did cheat a little bit, Vinny. We got to tell everybody separately. You did buy something from Madeline. I don't know if that's allowed. They may do a whole show on that. But you did get something for Adeline.
Yes, I did, because she's beautiful and it's the right thing to do. Good little girl.
So, of course, if you're going to get the Horsemen together, cigars are going to be involved. So there's Michael. Matthew, who came, another awesome viewer of the show. Myself, you see, I'm like the kangaroo patch. Trust me, I'm not that fat in person. And then Vinny again, and then I am that fat person. And then so it was a two-part. Event yesterday. Vinny kind of took care of the St. Jude's part, which he raised thousands of dollars. I don't want to steal that thunder. Vinny's contributing directly, all documented, all to a reputable foundation. So we picked up a few gift cards on the way, you and I. The lady almost, and that's not even all of them. That's just the ones she could put in her hands. So we picked up a few gift cards. That was for Grace. Grace is a super hyper local charity in Summit, New Jersey. You buy them in allocations of 25, and we bought a lot of them. And they're giving each 25 to each family. Some families receive 50. And these are for people that just are food insecure. In New Jersey, as much as 800,000 people are food insecure. Vinny, imagine you're not having enough food.
I can't.
So this was part of it. The toys were the other. And for me, it was fun. That was on Friday. We just went for a little dinner after a civil ceremony with Jocelyn and I. She's my wife. This is just a great weekend all around. Personally, professionally, it was really good. Let's let Joe in. Giuseppe, how are you, sir?
Good morning.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on. This was kind of unplanned, but I just wanted to unpack yesterday's events. So, Joe, I don't know if you were watching, but we showed the pictures from yesterday. We talked a little bit about the toys. I think well over $1,000 in toys purchased. We overfilled the box, countless gift cards. 4 viewers showed up. A lot of viewers sent messages, private messages, cash apps to Vinny. We talked about Vinny's kind of taking care of the St. Jude's. Yesterday we were handling Grace, and be the change. And what was really cool was the toy store was actually, and Vinny saw this, the toy store was actually, oh, we're going to give you our toys as well.
Right. I was there.
I mean, and if it's okay, guys, I want to really quick. This was also really important for me, especially as a small business owner. And I want to make sure, I do this correctly. Vinny filmed the toy professor. And just take a listen, guys. Hopefully you hear it okay.
The toy professor, I love it. The last one, is the part from Trump and local for the charity as well. The thing has to be paid the next supporting local stores. It's really important for this side. And the last couple of years, COVID really tough. Appreciation of the community coming out and supporting us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Light us up. This is putting 4 Horsemen.
All right. Is Dingo part of it?
No, sir. So we're in Summit, New Jersey. We're finishing up the toy drive for the day. We got a ton of gift cards for gotta get used to the ring. Right, Vic? We're used to the ring. I married yesterday, but we still want to make you guys. Thank you. And thank you so much. And it's been an honor and privilege to shop local. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So that was pretty cool. Sorry, Vin, I gotta close your thing. Hold on. So to me personally, oh shit, hold on. Sorry, guys.
Is Jason waiting to get in?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in a second.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool, and it was kind of a serendipitous benefit of hey, Smoking Tommy.
Good morning, sir.
So one thing I really like about it too was that we shop local, and they probably have their average day, and they probably have their hey, what we're going to make today and what we're going to do. But to come in and just be like an elephant jumping in a bathtub to buy a whole bunch of toys. The guy's passionate about toys. I have a business in that town, and I know for a fact they had to close down, and they got ravaged by a lot of the rules and a lot of the policies around COVID. So you heard him say one word which really stuck out with me. It's not just community, but movement. So not to sound corny or overreach here, but I think we're putting something together nice. JSV Capital, how are you, sir?
Hey guys, good morning. How are you?
Hey,
So
Jay.
we're talking a bit about yesterday. So I want to have Joe. Joe, why don't you give what yesterday meant to you? Not to get too corny, but like we had family there, we had friends there, we had a whole nice time. What did yesterday mean to you?
Very joyous occasion. Yeah, it was very nice. I mean, getting together with you guys is always nice, but
Yeah.
at least we were able to give back something, which we did. And in the process, we made a few more friends, and our group is slowly but surely getting bigger.
Yeah.
And everybody that sent well-wishing words or helped us or donated, I appreciate it. The only thing is, I don't think that township appreciated me and Vinny there. So
I got talked to afterwards. You need permission to come back in.
yeah.
And Mohawk.
No.
Before we get to
He was the star. Jason's always the star of the show.
Before we get to that, and I love the fact that Jason's fiance was there, his kids were there. She's also expecting. She did not need to come. Trust me. There's probably better ways for her to spend her Saturdays. But one thing too is I want to shout out to my sister. I'm going to say her name, Anch, because I don't want people looking her up. And it was a busiest day, or one of the busiest days to ship out, because you now have to ship. If you want to ship ground to the West Coast, it has to be done by like Friday or something. And it was one of the busiest days, and she has zero real estate to put anything. If I called her and said, I want to store gold bars in your place on Friday, she would have said, hell no. But when we told her for the toy drive, not only did she make a big ass box, not only did she have room, there was some back end processing that I talked to you about that the team did on the back end, putting her budget and resources, her store, her everything. And shout out to Ann. So, Jason, why don't you pick it up? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is something that we should do for all special occasions. It worked out, went well yesterday, having the guys come out, meeting the guys, not you guys, but the subscribers. That was cool. And yeah, community. It's big, man. It's awesome. And what we did was important. But, the once a year, I think we should wrap that up into other occasions during the year. But this is a start. So, yeah, well done. Well,
I could see us doing maybe obviously this could be like an annual thing. And then I could see us maybe doing quarterly events when kind of things subside with the variants. New Jersey's not as, and New York is not as business friendly with these type of things, but maybe we could do some more bigger in-person events when we can. What do you guys think? What do you think? Vinny, what's the best? What do we do next? What's our next move?
Well, I tell you, I have a good taste in my mouth with this because generally speaking, anything like this, like Joe was involved in something like this. I don't know if Jay was, where a company did it or a church did it. They did everything. All you had to do was show up and bring a toy. To coordinate this, I figured, I hope this goes off okay. But there were no glitches at all yesterday. It went off so smoothly. And that's what I was thankful for because, these things can be a shit show when you're trying to arrange everything. And it just went off great. And yeah, I think we should do something. There are so many good causes out there. And, and the people in our chats and our loyal subscribers seem to really be on board with helping people. That's the thing that got me. The overwhelming support that we got from people. And yeah, there are so many, and maybe they can tell us, recommend like what they think we should do next and keep them involved. And then go through it, maybe a poll of what do you guys think? 250 viewers. What do you think is the next important thing that we should do? Keep everyone involved. That's what we're about with our channel, right?
Well, I have a shout out. So we talked about Bryson Santa Maria not too long ago.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I checked in with her, his grandmother, who is a huge supporter of the show, personally, professionally. And little pig is out. He's out. He does have to have surgery, but he's out. He's doing a lot better. He's out of the ICU. And the little man's a strong man. And I said, listen, I don't want to put you out there and I don't want to make it uncomfortable. But if he ever feels well enough, or he will feel well enough. But if he's comfortable and his parents are comfortable, I'd love for him to be a guest host of the show. And the cool thing is, we did a shout out on the show for Little Pig, and his father, according to grandmother, started crying because of the outpouring of support. I think he watches the show. I know she's been watching the show forever, the previous show as well. So I don't nobody. But it was pretty cool for somebody to be impacted by our words and our well wishes. So I just think we're turning a corner here, and it's just I don't just feel we're turning a corner, getting past the negativity. I know as early as last night and today, there's some more people attacking one of these four windows or all four of these windows. And the truth of the matter is, we're not biting. We wish you well. It's a holiday season, and as a Christian, as a Catholic. You know what? You can kind of say what you want about me. That's okay. But I wish you positive energy and I wish positive stuff moving forward. And really that's what it's about. And you may call me corny and I may lose some subs and that kind of stuff. But you know what? I could sleep at night knowing that we did some really cool things. So Joe, what are some of the things you maybe want to get into? Well, like I know like you're pretty passionate about certain causes, and what are some things you're passionate about?
What, like charitable stuff, or
charitable, or even like some of the stuff because hopefully you're launching your channel soon, and we're really excited about that. So give us some of the things that you want to see.
Well, to do this annually, I don't know if that obviously I want to do the Christmas thing annually, but we have to do more. We have to try to help people a little more. Because, the way things are right now, I think the rich are getting richer, but the poor are getting poorer at this point. There's a lot of, COVID screwed up a lot of families. People had to work. Yeah, I know people are getting their jobs back, but, a lot of income was lost. What happens if you were like, your profession was a bartender, or you were a waitress, and that's how you supported your family? Well, There's a lot of people suffering. People are still getting sick with COVID. That's another thing. Hospital bills. I know they'll tell you everything's free, but it's not free.
Something hit home yesterday. I was chatting. I'm sorry, Friday. After we got married, all having a few drinks to celebrate. Just a small group. Jason was there. The Mohawk was actually the witness. He had the rings on like each ear. So he tried to run off from one of the rings. I was like, what the hell?
And your wife.
And the wife. Mohawk's a rough man. No, so my sister was talking. I didn't realize this because it's a seasonal business. There's a lot of part-timers, so I don't want to overinflate. But she has 12 employees. I was like, whoa. We have 12 because I invest in it. I'm like, we have 12. I'm like, I thought it was like 5, 6, like 2 full-time, 3, 12. And then looking at my other business, I have 4. And I'm like, wow, like I'm responsible for a minimum of 16 people, not to mention who they're with. Maybe they have a spouse, maybe they have children, maybe they have pets. So they kind of hit me yesterday that when I wake up on the first of every month, I got to feed at least like 20 people. Like it kind of how do I say this? It kind of was a real awakening for me, knowing that I
Put things into perspective.
Yeah, getting married, got married, beautiful now wife, one on the way, a beautiful baby, 2 other beautiful children from previous marriage. My daughter recently just got on honor roll. My son and I, like on Thursday, he's in chess club. I know it sounds corny, but he's in chess club and we play. I do let him beat me sometimes, and like my wife really gets pissed at it. And he lost his first game tournament in the tournaments, double elimination. And Thursday he played again and he won. And all I could think about on Thursday was, did he win? Did he win? Did he win? So when I'm going to pick them up for parenting time, because we co-parent, and sure enough, he won. So these are the kind of things that you're going to see me talking about, see me celebrating. We got some really big guests in the hopper. I'm talking game-changing guests. One is committed. One is I got a soft commitment, and one is 50-50. So just stay tuned. I mean, you got some really cool stuff on the show, but today's a little bit of day of reflection,
Yep, definitely.
And the other part is where I kind of get like a little bit of Papa Bear. Not that I'm, we're all equals, but I feel like somebody goes after Vinny, somebody goes after Joe, the Mohawk. Somebody goes after myself. They're going after the people that wake up in the morning every day and work hard. So just imagine if like somebody has a YouTube beef with me and it somehow like tarnishes my image and people pull out their support for our businesses. Well, who loses? To be honest with you, not me. I'll have to lay people off because I have to feed my family. So those are the people that lose. And you're right, Joe. You know what? Yesterday wasn't enough. It wasn't. And we're going to do more, and we're going to get more resources, and we're going to get bigger, and we're going to get stronger. And I just, that's just going to be our lane. And and Vinny, that's what we're going to unpack. And it's going to be organic. So, these are the kind of things that not to be too cerebral on Sunday, but these are kind of stuff that I wanted to chat about today.
It was a good start yesterday. Well, I'll say that.
Yeah, but Tom, you hold a good point there, Tom. That I want to bring up, us together having this show and then doing these charitable events and then continuing on with our other shows, but then, coming together here, to make this work and to continue to do good, Tom being at the helm of this, I don't comment much about the
I'm not. You're saying I'm the head of this band of idiots, including me, including me, the head idiot.
It's I'll comment this one time and then I'll never comment again about it. If somebody goes after your brother, your friend, your sister, your cousin, and there's something to be said about that, where you kind of can't just be buddy with that person. Now, we're not young anymore where I'm going to go kick your ass or anything like that. But you kind of have to turn your back towards that person to the loyal side, right? So I think there has to be a loyalty towards Tom. I know my loyalty is towards Tom, and I know you two here, it should be. So somebody goes after Joe, I'm not going to go on YouTube and attack that person, but I sure as hell not going to associate myself with that person if they attack Joe. Same thing with Vinny. Again, I'm not going to go to the streets and go fight somebody, but I'm not going to associate with that person. So for us to be strong together here, for Horsemen, and continue what we're doing, we kind of have to have that bond, and where we don't associate ourselves with people and Tom does get the brunt of a lot of this, and we shouldn't associate ourselves with those people. That's all I was saying.
Also, I want to bring another point too, where this goes to all the other content creators in the Mob 2 world and others, right? It's nothing personal if we're saying, hey, you know what, we're doing our own thing only because we were trying to build, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So like we're trying to fill our cup so we can pour from it to help others. Like you see, once we have something, we look to help others. So if we ever decline to do a show, it's not personal. We didn't say, you creator, we hate you. It's, hey, you know what? We're stepping back a little bit, doing some reflection and try to build a moat around us. And then when we're strong, when we can do it, shit, we'll not only probably have you be the first guest, some of these people, or we'll love to come on your show to promote the new show. I just think it's too divisive right now, where if Joe goes on show A, I go on show B, Vinny goes on show C, when we get together or your individual show, there are people that don't watch shows if you appear on another show, and they're like adamant about it. So you know what? Like, let's just work on ourselves, work on our content,
Beantown, yes. Beantown. J Capital wasn't a little crazy. That's not like me, Beantown.
Yeah. Well, what's happening is like there's people like making videos about me, and like there's people in the comments saying stuff, and what this is all doing is it's just making me like frightened. I'm like very scared right now. Right now I want to hide my face right now. I don't know, because there's some douchebag making comments about me or whatever, and the guy lives in I don't even want to say, because I don't want to disrespect that city, but yeah, I'm just getting very, very nervous.
Yeah.
Very scared.
Joe, that was my point before. Now imagine, I don't even know who you're talking about, but could you imagine if
it's in general. Nobody today, not anybody today. It's too early.
I'm saying, but could you imagine, getting back to my point, could you imagine I'm talking to that guy on the phone, hey, what's up, man? And this guy's coming after you. You'd be like, Jay, what are you doing? Like, why would you, what? And then they go on the guy's show. Let's say the guy had a show, right? That would be like, Jay, what are you doing, man? That's not cool, right? So
I would agree.
That same thing goes for our friend, for our good friend Tom here, because you got a lot of attackers.
Well, the other thing is, and
if we're gonna do that, then we won't have any fucking friends.
Alienate
ourselves.
I found something really interesting. So I was, relaxing yesterday. Yesterday was a long day, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just close that window until he comes back. And I got like 2 or 3 things sent to me, all these text messages, right? So there was a video that was sent to me about a creator who was did 3 hit pieces in a row, right? Mm-hmm. And this another creator, I don't even know who, said, hey, check out this video. I check it out, and it wasn't very complimentary towards me. So I just put a proverb and a quote from the 13 chapters, which is Sun Tzu, right? And it's kind of like a common quote if you're well read in it. And yeah, the Art of War, 13 chapters, Art of War, right? And I just wrote that in there, and it's just kind of like a little tongue in cheek and sharing a quote on somebody who came for me. So that person came for that person. And I just used a proverb that's pretty common if you're familiar with it, right? Nothing more, nothing less, right? And I had 2 different creators, one calling me an MFer, and another one, going after, threatening to go after me, for putting in a quote. So this stuff has got out of hand.
Well, that's not fair though, because Joe and I call you an MFer, so they just
which is fine, but I just thought that was interesting, and I'm going to make something really critical here. Doxing is not cool. I came, hold on, Egry's saying, no, we can go into chats. Chats are okay. We're holding off on other shows. We're not communists here. We're just holding off on going to other shows. But
Tom, let me just interrupt for a second. Yeah. I see some and I'm not going to call them trolls because they have opinion. If you have an opinion, you're not a troll. You're a troll if you're calling people terrible names and stuff.
Yeah.
Joe and I were businessmen. You were a businessman currently. Joe and I retired. I worked for 33 years. I was successful in my business. I was fairly successful until I got arrested in the street, but I was successful. Made a lot of money in the street with a lot of help. Don't get me wrong. I fell into it and then fell out of it.
Yeah.
Take it from me, people. And I'm not going to mention them in here. If you don't think we know what we're doing and you don't think we're smart, have your opinions. But kind of know what we're doing. So when you think we're doing this and that looks like against the grain with each other, we're not protecting each other. We know exactly what we're doing. We're two steps ahead. Take my word for it.
Well, the other part is I realized that, and again, somebody told me afterwards where I did leave a comment that the person was threatening to out somebody or dox somebody, and they doxed another content creator. So I didn't know that. Like, we were out yesterday. The last few days I've been busy with wedding prep. So like, I'm not sitting there watching all these shows or know their arc of their show. So if I make a comment on that video, I probably just saw 15 seconds of the video and made a comment. Now, this is where I will apologize. I do not support or condone doxing of any kind. That's it. Don't support doxing. I don't think anybody here does.
I don't know what's doxing. I don't know.
Doxing is if you release private information that's public.
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's illegal in some states. You could be like found like criminally liable, and then civilly liable as well. It goes against the terms of service of YouTube. YouTube could just, if they find you doing that, they could just take you off immediately. And I'm just not in that game. Trust me, I'm a digital marketer. I know half of these people are before they knew who I was, which my stuff's open. But I would never use that against anybody. It's just, it's easy to do for me, but I'd never dox anybody. I never will. And then also like, people taking people's moms and putting in super chats and using their name. Like that's, I don't know, man. My mother passed. I wish my mother was still here, but if my mother is, 80 years old and somebody's using, their number in the chat and Jason was doing it behind the scenes, I'm like, Jason, come on, man. Like, just, let's take the high road on this. So you're going to see the high road moving forward. I might've slipped at times, but for the most part, I think we always try to do the right thing, Joey Snacks, not a bad name. What do you think, Joe?
It's okay. I have a lot of other names.
I mean, this guy doesn't. He's chomping. No. Every time we get on, he's chomping. He's chomping on something. It's insane.
It's a lifesaver, dickhead.
We should dox him and say what he's eating.
It's a lifesaver, dickhead.
Guys always gotta be chomping those fucking lips.
How about Joey? Joey Snacks? No. How about Joey? Smacks. Wait a minute. Wait. How about Joey? How about Joey Cracks? How about Joey Can't Relax? How about Joey? I got to think of some other names.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do a little contest.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But no. So in terms of some of the content that's coming up, I guess. I'm I don't want to say anything because somebody asked what's the difference between a soft yes and a 50-50. A hard yes is scheduled in the books. We're in. A soft yes is, hey, Tom, I'm doing it. I just have to schedule. And a 50-50 is they didn't even commit to verbally doing it. So that's a delineation. So I have one hard yes, which I'm like, I'm excited about this one. This is like a big deal for me. I'll give a little bit of a hint. It's about the Elizabeth mob. People that I grew up with, my old football coach who married my cousin. Like it's a coming home to roost for me. It's a very big deal. I lost, both parents. So my family came over from Italy. They emigrated to Peterstown in Elizabeth, which is a little known enclave for the Cavalcante family. The Cavalcante was not that big in Newark, not at all. And this guy helped bring down the Cavalcantes in 15. And I talked to him yesterday and we were talking, John Wolf. I'm not talking about, that's what I mean, man. And you're one of the smarter ones, John.
Is he? You know him?
Well, in terms of intelligence, he actually has a lot. See, that's
Yeah, okay. He's real intelligent
No,
at
no, no,
fucking
no, no.
10 in the morning, you
No.
asshole.
No. I agree with you.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, he chooses to troll, and it's sad. Because he's actually very.
Because look, you know why? Because when he was in school, he was getting smacked in his face. He had fucking pizza face, okay? And girls, when they saw him, they ran the other way. So now it's payback, right, John Wolf?
So
Right. So now you want to pay me back for whooping your ass all through fucking school, right?
Jason,
Okay.
I think that
Thank
when
you.
Joe gets over his initial shyness, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Wait. Just now, were you describing Vinny or John Wolf? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was referring to John Cocksucker Wolf.
I was doing the smacking, Tom.
Ooh, I'm scared.
Kidding. I'm just
Fuck you, asshole.
Let's
Yeah, it's
let's-
payback. Show your fucking face, bro. You won't.
let's
You don't even like looking at yourself in the mirror. That's the real issue with the trolls. Let's be honest. They can't even look at themselves. Because who in their right mind will come on doing that? At 10 o'clock on fucking Sunday. Don't you go to church, asshole? Now, I went to fucking mass last night. And let me tell you, I'm going to have to go again today because of you, John Wolf. Thank you.
and we'll say a prayer and light a candle.
Yeah, thank you.
So with that being said, to give a little background, so in Elizabeth, New
Absolutely
Jersey,
not.
what's wrong?
No, it's not affecting me. It's just, it's funny.
So this is interesting. So get back to God forbid mob stuff, right? So Peterstown in Elizabeth, New Jersey, or Petersburg.
Oh, John Wolf has a channel?
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
Wolf, fuck you and your fucking channel. How about that? Okay, next.
Okay, so we're gonna get back to the task at hand. So in Peterstown or Petersburg is wasn't
Yeah, but he won't show his face to me, Eddie.
All right. We'll
I think it's a diner day for me and you today. Yeah.
we'll unpack that later.
I'm just acting.
Let me just say this: if we're talking about Toys for Tots and St. Jude's and cancer, and you can't even let up for a second to troll, Joe's right. Not for your face. Just go look in there.
Yeah. Well, so at any rate, so just to give some context and some background, my town in Italy, it's a very small town called Vallata, Italy, Vallata. And Tom Colicchio, the chef, is actually from there too, which is interesting. And he opened a restaurant by the same name in New York City, which is pretty exciting. So he's probably one of the more notable people from that town in Italy. The Colicchios grew up in Linden and Elizabeth, New Jersey, and that's one town. The other town, there was a big immigration to Elizabeth. It's called Ribera, right? So you kind of have Napoli people like in and around Napoli. Then you have the people that were Sicilian. The Riberesi, or the people from Ribera, are actually those that created the Cavalcante crime family. The true Cavalcante crime family historically has been, although it was Jersey and although it was a smaller family, up until the Gotti era, was very, very powerful. You had Simone de Cavalcante, who sat on the commission. He brokered the banana wars, and he also was considered an account. So for those people that are actually into mob stuff, I highly recommend reading up on Simone de Cavalcante, Sammy the plumber. Phenomenal story. Interesting story is they caught him on tape, and they said to him and said, "Hey, we have this tapes on you. We're going to indict you," but there wasn't enough to indict him. So he goes, they go to him, "You better roll, or we're going to release these tapes." If they release the tapes, they can't use them as evidence. They called his bluff. They released his entire tapes, everything. And it's a book called The Cavalcante Tapes. A lot of people that I know are mentioning that book. So he had to go down to Florida to retire. After him was Giovanni the Eagle Riggi, John Riggi.
Right.
Another good guy, stand-up guy. My cousin Vincent married his niece Lisa. I was at the wedding. This is public. So 3 of his sons followed into life, one who passed. Manny, who's a really good guy. And John Riggi was a great guy. And he was supposed to get out like in the early 2000s. and then he got tripped up again in a case with Stephen Crea and a few of the Lucchese's. He got betrayed by his son-in-law, Sean Richards,
Yep, I heard that.
who I have to own this. I will own this, and it makes me sick. Like, it actually makes me sick. He would have got out. He would have got out because Sean Richards literally bankrupted his wife and went against Stephen Crea, the other Lucchese member, and John Riggy. John Riggy spent another 15 years in jail, right? Or something like that. I met Sean Richards on another name. I didn't know it was him. And I actually ate with him. I found it afterwards. Sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. So, nevertheless, when people do inform, it does hurt families, and it's a big deal. He went to the witness protection program, some stripper, and he moved away. And good riddance, as far as I'm concerned. But then after that, I don't want to get into like who's leading the family now. But there's a legacy of guys that are out there that are still around in and around Elizabeth, New Jersey, and the Cavalcante family is a lot stronger than you think. There's some belief that there is a belief that they're under the Gotti regime. I'm sorry, Gambino regime, as early as the Gotti era. But again, that's why I'm really excited to read the books. I want to hear more. And who got tripped up was Charlie Stango, who was out of Vegas, and the Cavalcantes have a present there. So I'm really excited about that.
Are his sons, the two that are alive, were they still in the life?
I just only go by what's public, so they just have them on the Wikipedia page, and that's where I leave it. One's his namesake, and one's another person. I think one of the other sons is a doctor, I believe, or nephew is a doctor. But yeah. So it'd be pretty interesting that I had this particular person on. He broke up the Cavalcante family in 15, and he went after some pretty important people. And I said to him, because I'm gonna pick up the book today because I want to read it obviously before. And I said, I'm almost like worried. I'm going to be upset and disappointed. He's like, why? I said, because the Cavalcantes to me were like rock stars growing up, like the administration, like some of the senior guys. They were classy. They dressed well. They were like, you know what I mean? They were like classy guys. And then now like that kind of like they handed off to guys that are totally fucking it up and making it a shit show. Like it's almost like meeting your favorite ball player and then turning them out to be a douchebag, you know?
Yeah.
Vinny,
You know what
Joe.
I noticed about the mob that you probably would attest to? They used to dress impeccably.
Yes.
But you don't see that much anymore.
Now I'm taking over that role in the crew. I dress impeccably.
Yeah.
But so Joe, so you're obviously a Staten Island guy. There was some New York crews. There was a Brooklyn crew for the Cavalcantes. There was Vinny Palermo in Queens. He owned some strip clubs. Was there any New Jersey, like the Cavalcante presence growing up? As you remember, you for you and Vinny, have you ever heard of any of those guys? No, right? So the Jersey guys were farmers pretty much.
Not really, but just not in Bensonhurst.
Sorry, that was my kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I know of. They could have been, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I just feel like they are how do I say this? They could have been stronger, obviously, and they had a certain level of strength. I just think if they were like a standalone family, meaning if they were in Cleveland or they were Buffalo or even LA, they would be really strong relative. But because they're in and around New York, they aren't as well known. What does it mean in the surnames and names of towns in Italy? I'm sure there's a way. Yeah. So if you can get a surname,
you, Tommy.
Yeah. If you can get a surname, you could definitely and generally trace it back to a town in Italy. And then you can generally there's certain surnames that come from certain areas or certain towns. What's interesting is whenever I go to a phone book, I could always find a Lavecchia, but it's not a very common name and we're not all related. So I just find that interesting. Yeah, the Genovese are big in New Jersey. They found Esposito. They found I think it's related to you, Joe. They found the son with a whole $2.5 million in cash, and then a list of all the Genovese guys in Jersey, past and present. And then evidently that was their cash used for like legal support and for families. And they found it in a townhouse in Upper East Side. I just thought that was interesting. Let's see if I fucking.
I see the thing here. The Genovese own a lot of restaurants. The guys.
Yeah.
In,
I'm gonna drop a
in
link.
Jersey.
If somebody wants to jump on just to say hello, this has to be non-trolling, has to be positive. We're gonna be wrapping up soon, about 5-10 minutes. But if anyone wants to jump in and say hello real quick, we'll be happy to have you on real quick. Yeah, so I'm working on that. We're gonna cover the Cavalcantes. I'm working on somebody from Florida that had ties to cartel as well as Cosa Nostra. And then I'm working on a really big one that I'm praying to the powers that be that I get. And then reaching out to some other people as well. Most of it's actually like I'm in the inner circle. I'm not talking like a publicist who's BSing me, or I'm not talking to whatever. I'm talking to the person directly or the right hand person. So that's why I'm really confident that we're gonna land some pretty cool interviews. I got to check this out. A recommended channel, Cover All, the Italian Towns and Deeper Globalism channel. Oh, they cover. I got to check it out. I do have, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, I do like the whole relationship with the Freemasons, the P2 Lodge, and the Italian powers that be, the Vatican and the mob. If you ever read a book called The God's Banker, Roberto Calvi, and the story of Miguel Sindona. Miguel Sindona they hit him out in Staten Island, and it was hidden out by John Gambino. He was washing money for the Vatican, the mob, and for certain banks. So that's something that maybe we can kind of do a show on. When am I interviewing the Bull? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm friendly with Karen. I want to kind of do that delicately and appropriately. I know he's a busy guy. So she committed to come on. I just have to nail her down. And then whether he comes on with her or whether he comes on remains to be seen. So stay tuned. And then Michael Franzese, I did reach out to again. And then stay tuned for that. I did have him on earlier. Propaganda Duo. Yeah. P2 Lodge is, that is correct. It was a right wing group that wanted to kind of control things. And if anybody who knows Italian history, a lot of the bombings in the 70s, and I think it's late 80s, Brigata Rossa, the Red Brigade, and they were like communists that wanted to take over Italy, and they were committing acts of terrorism. The mob in Sicily committed multiple bombings on the mainland, Torino, Venice, and other places, and they killed many people, just like Pablo Escobar did, to get the heat away from Sicily. So there's a lot of stuff to cover out there. I don't get like all these people that have these shows, like people dedicated like a show to me. You're wasting your time. There's so much more great content out there, or better content out there than myself. And just take the time, research, study, and I think it'll all work out, So the guy Roberto Calvi they found him hanging off of a London bridge. Miguel Sindona, they found him in jail and they spiked his espresso with arsenic. Like, we're talking the powers that be. We're talking like Mohawk level stuff, So that's kind of
Isan, yes, I like the Bengals a bit today. I like Arizona today.
Okay. Yeah. Let's spend a minute. Today's Sunday.
Is it? Oh, okay. I forgot what day it was. Jeez.
No,
days are going by fast.
True. Don't roast me. I'm saying because of football, right? So, Benny, give me your lock. Don't give me 3 games. By the way, I won my Giants last week. I text you guys ahead of time. So, Who do you guys have this week?
I like Arizona a lot, and I like Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis puts up 45 today against Houston. I might be dead wrong.
Okay, so, what's your specific pick?
Probably.
I would go the best pick, Arizona. I like Indianapolis.
What's the spread?
Probably 10.5. I think they blow.
So you like Indy? Give the points.
Yeah, a road. I don't like road favorites laying double digits, but Houston just that'll be 24.
Hold on, I'm documenting this in the comments so I can go back. You like Arizona -10.
No, I like Indianapolis minus.
I'm sorry, it's all good.
But I like Arizona as well.
Indianapolis minus
Arizona
10.
7.5.
Oops, I said minus 10. Okay.
The Colts
Let's
10.
just keep it simple. Indianapolis minus 10. I am going Giants. Right? There's Giants versus what was it, Miami? The over under is 40. I'm going with the under. Mark my words. Take it to the bank. Giants, and it's only 40. And it's going to be under. Take it to the bank.
Let me ask you a question, guys, for all of you. How glorified do you think the mob is if the Godfather Casino and Goodfellas is never made?
Oh, that was the best PR machine going for them.
Absolutely. Because look at the 70s. The 60s. You knew who they were, but it wasn't glorified. The movies glorified. Because you knew what in the Midwest or wherever you were, it wasn't prevalent. You didn't know exactly what a captain did. You didn't know who had to report to who. You start with Goodfellas, you see Paulie Barry, who was the boss. He never spoke to anybody. He had his brother as an intermediary. And a lot of people don't know, Tootie, his brother, had an artificial leg.
Really?
He lost it in the war, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, when I talked about Italy before, so just to kind of give some context, the Italian media and Italian movies, and El Monday, who almost killed the Pope, will know, the movies about mobsters. Did you guys see Gomorrah? Did you see it, Vinny?
No. People have been telling me to watch that.
God.
You know what? The subtitles, as soon as they said there was some I can't stand subtitle movies.
So, well, no, you can get it in English.
Me neither. I tried to find it in English. Everybody says that. I go to it's on HBO, whatever.
I'm gonna save it for you guys. HBO Max. Go to the settings.
I got HBO. Oh, settings.
HBO Max. You go to the settings and you put English, like a voiceover, and English subtitles on top of it. Yeah, pretty easy.
Really?
So Gomorrah. Okay.
Easy.
So the difference between Gomorrah and other shows is it really shows how these are vapid people. They do not sugarcoat it. They're dirtbags. They're bad people, and like there's no honor. There's no honor amongst these. There's just no honor. They're just bad fucking people, and that's what the Italian media. So the Italian media always took a stance that like they showed the mob for what it was, and up until, did you ever see The Traitor? Anybody ever see that?
Who's in it?
It was this famous Italian actor who's in Sabura too.
No.
It was the story of Tommaso Buscetta. It was a popular Italian movie, but it did really well in the States. It's called The Traitor. I highly recommend watching that. Up until that time, the guys that were portraying mobsters were ugly. They made them bad people. There wasn't a lot of honor. Italian media is also emulating, because it's big money, what the Americans do. They over glorify the mobsters now. They put better looking actors. They're putting more resources, make them look like honorable men. The Italian people aren't buying it, but who's buying it? The people that are international. Remember, the Italians have a very different view of the mafia than we do. The old show that was in 50 countries and did well in 50 countries, we would get 0 plays in Italy. And I'm like, wait a second. We have a guy here who was an inducted member of Cosa Nostra. This should be flying off the shelves in Italy. Like 0. And I called my cousin in Italy. I'm like, perché nessuno vuole sentire, right? Why doesn't anyone listen to it? Because it was on the audio. And he's like, because we got to deal with the shit every day. We don't want to talk about it, and we don't want to hear it, you know? So they take a different view. So I recommend, if you're true, like, into mob stuff, watch The Traitor, watch Gomorrah, watch Sabura, which is in Netflix, about the Roman kind of mob. Phenomenal, man. You guys are missing out on some good stuff. You have some required viewing to get caught up, you know?
I'm actually watching Power right now, which is good.
That's a good show.
You know the guy who plays Vincent Ragni, the Italian mobster?
No.
Oh, you maybe not that far enough. Later on, there's a guy who plays an Italian mobster, Vincent Ragni. His name, his real life is Joe Perino, and he was in Sleepers. He was in The Sopranos, and he was plays the Italian mobster in Power. Gets a bigger role later on. He was on New Theory podcast. Good guy.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yo,
I'll send you-
Power was filmed
send
in
you
the
link.
same place that Boardwalk Empire was filmed, in the old Navy Yard. That's the
Really?
studio where it's filmed.
We're in Brooklyn.
The Sopranos was at Silver Cup. I think it was Steiner Studios in the Brooklyn Yard. The place that about 15 years ago De Niro wanted to buy. With a couple, he wanted to buy that whole studio, that whole land. I don't think it went through.
Oh, you know what? I stand corrected. If you're on Power, stay on Power, obviously. But if you're going to start something new, even before Gomorrah, 000.
I read the book 000.
Roberto Savia. Okay. If somebody came to me and they said, if you could do one interview and then you were never allowed to interview ever again, it would be Roberto Saviano, Gomorrah, and 000. If they said you could interview Roberto, but you will be off air for the rest of your life and I don't want to interview, I would say, where do I sign? He is a fucking man. Tell the story of it, Jay, in the book, and tell the story. Or maybe his son could do it. So, Jay, you there? Yeah, can you tell?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was blowing my kid a kiss. Go
No,
ahead.
more than fun. So tell us about 000 and like why it's a badass story.
Oh my God, I read the book so many years ago. What was that, 10 years ago when it came out? You want me to give you the cliff notes on 000?
I'll give some of the premise if you want to jump in. So
Okay.
we all know that, a lot of the drugs and the cocaine obviously is manufactured in Colombia, and that the Mexicans kind of took over a lot of the routes. It's obviously well documented that the Intragata buys the coke from Colombia and owns about 80% of the market in Europe. This follows from Mexico with American brokers to the Italian mafia and all the three different like kind of parallel storylines. And it is amazing. 000 on Amazon Prime. I
didn't know they made a show out of it.
Oh my God, it's insane. And for some reason, only one season, and I'm sick over it. Also, I think it's free.
Is it a documentary or there's actors in it?
It's a show. It's a movie, a scripted show. It's amazing. Yeah. Scripted show.
Tom, let me ask you something. I haven't heard anybody really talk about it. What do you think of the sit down? You saw an episode.
Oh, I saw 2 episodes. I like it. I like it because there is a little bit of like some chess playing going on. I like it. Let me get a little further. Maybe we could do a review on it together. I like it. Joe, are you gonna get it? I mean, Joe, you're obviously welcome to use my family pet. It's a family login. But Joe, you think you want to?
I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm broke right now.
Oh, you're legally allowed to come over and watch it at my house anytime.
Yeah, I think
No,
maybe
Tom.
we could
No, Tom,
maybe we
I'm
could
willing to
hire
open.
it.
I'm going to bring this up in front of everybody. 2 months ago, when the show came out, I says, buddy, when the first show comes out, let's get together, have some wine, have a cigar, and watch the show. And you watched it without me.
Okay, how about this?
Offended.
I'll pull a Vinny and backtrack. Just kidding. I didn't say that. How about this?
Joe, defend me, damn it.
Just kidding. One night this week, you guys pick the night, and then we big screen.
But we're there every night.
Oh, I know. You guys are probably all coming over tomorrow night anyway. Little Barolo, a little bit of pasta, a little cigar, followed by a cigar afterwards, and wine, unpack, and we will watch it together. I will not watch it.
Can you give me broccoli or something
Yes,
instead of pasta?
So what are they talking about in it? I saw a little bit of the trailer or whatever, and then Prince sent me something yesterday.
Talk about the life, Joe.
No, like
They're talking
arguing
about
with each other?
They're talking about farming in Northern California, Joe. What do you mean? What are they talking about, Joe?
Farming.
What kind of question is that, Joe? What are they talking about?
Bad connection.
It's a cooking show, Joe.
I can't hear it. Can you repeat
Joe.
that? Sorry, I
It's a
didn't hear what you
cooking
said.
show, Joe.
Sorry,
Joe, I'm sorry. Episode 3, I think he speaks about the Mohawk.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I heard someone yelling in my ear. I don't know what it was.
They're talking about over there, guys. What do you think? Hey, I wonder why Franzese is so. I saw a clip. Franzese is like so against actually saying I cooperated. I talked with the government. Sammy's like, why are you dodging the fact that you cooperated.
Because he's convinced himself he hasn't.
But like he talked with the government. And Sammy made a point too. Sammy was like, just because maybe somebody didn't go to prison because of you, that's because the government chose not to go after them.
Right.
The government chose not to put. You didn't tell the government, hey, don't go after those guys. And I like Michael Franzese.
Yeah, but you know how that works.
I don't like how he's dodging.
Correct.
Because you're
He
seeing
talked. That's it. Done. You talk. That's it. Done.
You're seeing a business guy made guy against a street guy made guy, and you see the differences.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Mike Franzese is only about 5 years younger than Sammy, right?
The only thing, Sammy knows more about the street life, but the only thing that Franzese has in his corner is he was schooled by his old man. I mean, to have that kind of schooling is in that life, that his old man, that was it.
Funny Franzese of all people.
Yeah. So when somebody says Franzese doesn't know what he's talking about, he got it from the horse's mouth. I mean, he was schooled by one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Well, the not to give too much away, but what I've seen so far is, I think that Sammy questions his intent for going in. Remember, he got made at 24, and the storyline of Michael Franzese. And I got to go back. I'm going to revisit my interview with him. I think I might even play it and see how it aged. Kind of like I did with A-Light. A-Light. Big difference, right? So with that said is he said, hey, I think I went to Hofstra, I want to go to college. So you're kind of like 18, 19 years old, and then 24, you're one of the first classes of the button getting in. And then Sammy kind of accused of Sonny asking for a favor to go in, and that was like the half-hour discussion of the first or second one. So I'm on the second one; it gets all blurred, and it's just pretty interesting. I think it's like mental chess. I like it. It's a little more cerebral than I thought it was going to be. I didn't get to the part where Sammy jumps across the table, supposedly. But it's mental chess, and that's kind of stuff that I like,
Well, didn't he say that he got involved in the first place to help his dad?
On the show, no, but in public,
He had said that in the past, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of the case, and he figured he could help him.
I find that odd, though, because I know someone that didn't do that and tries to help.
There's other ways to help. You're right. You don't have to necessarily get into the life,
Absolutely.
Oh, look what Carmine S. I've been listening to looking at his comments. He knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he does.
Jeez. I don't know who is Carmine S.
If
Carmine is an active guy in the street, because they wouldn't be on here. So what I'm thinking is he probably is. I'd rather not say.
Yeah. And I'm trying to do a piece on Streaky Gatto and those guys in Patterson area that were Genovese powerhouses. There's really not a lot of guys. There's this guy named Sugarman that was on Value Entertainment. I'm going to try to get him because he was a Jewish gangster that dealt with these guys. And then there are some of those sons of those guys. I think Gatto's son is a Genovese captain, so obviously he's probably not coming on.
Imagine that. I have a beef. Sugarman's coming with me.
Yeah. So I need to do a little research there. I just knew very little about the Patterson crew. Evidently they were powerhouses. They were the Genovese, and I gotta brush up on that. I'm good lying if I tell you I know a lot.
Yeah.
What else before we wrap up? What are some like mob rabbit holes you guys get down? Like if you were to say to you, what's one either you're on now or that you didn't get to? And I mean, a rabbit hole is you start researching it, and you know what? It's your next 2 weeks of content, whether it be video or books. What are some of the rabbit holes you guys are going down in terms of mob content?
Well, now I'm going down to Amazon Prime 00 now and Gamora. Now that I don't have to read the subtitles, 100%. I'm going to settings, putting it in English, and going for it. Because I started watching it and I started reading, and I'm like, I'm done because I can't even watch the act. I'm too busy trying to read.
I would do 0
I'm going Gamora 00. What's that?
Yeah, I would do 00 first, only because
and Sammy's the series, the podcast series, the storytelling, right? The season 1, season 2, now he's in season 3. Absolutely amazing.
Well, Gamora.
No, Sammy.
Oh, yes.
Sammy's podcast series. I don't mean the clips that he puts out once a week or anything like that. I mean the actual podcast series. Okay. The structured show.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's amazing.
That is good.
He's a great storyteller. And you know what? Nobody is giving that kind of storytelling out there. Nobody.
True.
He's the only mob content, real mob storytelling content. Franzese, he gives clips and this and that, but he kind of tells the same story over and over again a little bit. Yeah. This is Sammy, the underboss, the consigliere. He was a captain. He grew up in the life. It's unbelievable. Nobody's putting out what Sammy's putting out right now. And I have nothing to do with this show.
Do any guys believe that Michael puts on a better show than Sammy?
No.
Michael's great. I actually do.
You think he does?
I'll tell you why.
What content, Tom? You're way off. You're way off on this one. You're going to get me heated on a Sunday morning. You're way off on this one.
I'll tell you why. Because Michael actually wants to kind of educate you, and he doesn't bullshit, and he comes in and says, here, you know what? I cooperated, this and that. He covers current events. He tells you about the business aspect. The guy was making $8 million.
But Tom, yes, but that's the only story he tells. It's the only thing. He doesn't tell day-to-day operations.
He doesn't need to when you're making $30 million a month.
No, but I'm saying as a viewer, don't you want that?
Okay. So I'm going to give you, here's the thing with Sammy.
As a viewer, I want more content.
Okay. Sammy is great because he gives insider events of stuff that we know, right? Where Michael gets involved, he gives either opinion or firsthand knowledge. Remember, he was around Thomas DeBella. He was around the Persicos. His first captain was Andy Mush. He talks about mob protocol. He's a business guy first. I look at the long run of things, and he'll never run out of content because he does other things.
Okay. Do you know he owned this? Yeah, I agree. Do you know he owned car dealerships, Franzese?
On Long Island multiple.
Well, how come he never told a story about that? Like, come on. Really? How come he doesn't tell the story about, like, his day-to-day operations with the gas thing? He doesn't. He gives you clips. He has good stories to tell, and he should tell more. He's not telling more, I think. I think that if he told more, he'd be par with Sammy.
Yeah, but
I think Franzese cleans it up a bit. Sammy just tells you the way it is. I think Franzese is political.
But why is he cleaning it up?
I think he's involved with churches. I think he feels he's got to be a little.
And he's a business guy. Are you going to buy a slice of pizza from a guy who cuts people's heads off? Probably not.
Yeah. Do you think Franzese, he made $8 million a week, $10 million a week? How can you tell me at some point this guy didn't say, okay, this week's earnings of $8 million, I'm gonna put in my basement, and I'm gonna give it to my mother's, my wife's mother, or I'm gonna hide it in some foreign account? You're telling me the guy was broke zero? Come on.
He reminds you of my uncle who always cries poor, but if he lays in his bed, his nose is to the ceiling.
Do you think he has any of that money? It was so much money. Do you think he stored it away somewhere? Yes or no, Tom? Yes,
I do.
Jason, you have to remember too, Jason, Franzese got Gravano's not on the tour, speaking places. There are probably still some people that are alive with Franzese, and he's out there all the time.
Good point.
Gotti's sitting in sitting in a basement. Gravano.
Whatever his reason is for holding back, okay. But now that takes away from his show, and that makes Sammy's show a better show. There you go.
Hey, Joe, did you see Detroit Siggy's comment up there?
No.
Have any of you recently dealt with a made member? That was interesting.
Not business wise. Well, Vinny, I don't know.
Seen one or met one.
Why I saw Lorenzo Menino and here's the other thing too. Another content creator.
Never met one.
Said to me, yeah, okay, Joe. So said to me, I alluded to that I was dealing with the Lucchese family. First of all, Lucchese family wants nothing to do with me. But number two, of all people. And then number two, I said I saw Lorenzo Menino at Sorrento Cafe in Brooklyn. Didn't talk to him. We didn't kibitz. I just said I saw him. Nothing more. It's so funny. Like you say one thing and you articulate it, and it gets totally twisted.
You mean I thought you told me you asked for his autograph. What happened?
No.
No, on a napkin, right?
No, a picture.
Especially-
Tom had a selfie with him.
Yeah.
And he's from Torretta, Sicily, which I know people from there, and I have actually been there. So that's not going to help me, but I know how those guys think, and he's better off leaving it alone.
What surprises me is, Tom, you didn't go up to him and give him some business advice on how he should run his business.
He got more money in his shoe than I do everywhere else on the street.
What do you say? What do you say, Tom? He wouldn't bend over to pick up your money.
Put it this way. If I had Lorenzo's money, I would turn down Joe's.
Yeah.
You wouldn't bend over to pick up his money or your whatever. How'd you say it, Tom?
How's that go again? Joe told me that.
He wouldn't bend over to pick up his money because he was afraid of his money would fall out of his pockets. Come on, I'm sabotaging it.
He was afraid of hurting his back terribly if he did.
Jason, you love to bend over, but
oh boy,
what it was.
Really, we're doing this now on Sunday morning.
I still owe you for the embarrassment, dinner embarrassment.
Hey, we're going on. It's Sunday morning. We're going on for 5 minutes. We're into it an hour and a half already.
It's
we'll conclude
it's payback for the dinner embarrassment.
We'll conclude for 10 minutes.
Where I let him, he ran his mouth, his wife and kids. He was under the protection of his lovely wife and kids. So
yes.
But
I often use
but
them
hold
as
on,
shields.
Jason. Don't ever interrupt anybody while they're eating. Okay.
Thank you.
I thought it was hilarious
what's that
when
expression?
Jason's little guy said, "Look at this fucking Alabama Crimson."
So, Joe,
Run
what's
it
that
in.
expression? Joe,
Yes.
you said it. He goes, I can't bend over.
No, I said that if he's walking and he drops $10,000, if he's walking and drops $10,000, I don't even remember
It costs him more to bend over than pick
exactly right. That's what.
Right.
And that's how
more bending over to pick it up.
and that's how I feel. That's how I feel
Right.
about those
It
money.
costs him more money. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Imagine that. I know with Bill Gates, that's true.
That is true.
I'm sure.
That is true.
How do these guys continually make money when everything, like the money just for everyone else goes down, but theirs goes up? I mean, I don't.
Unreal.
What do you think? What do you think? And I don't know, community may be big enough, but what do you guys think? Because I have a small boutique marketing firm, so I have a lot of people come to me and approach me like, "Hey, I have this idea, I have that idea," because they want to get off the ground, right? And I hate to say this, but sometimes people think marketing is free. Anyway, they just do. Well, YouTube's free, but marketing's not. So I'll be like, hey, what's your budget? What's going on? And a lot of these guys and gals are underfunded. What if we did a mini, and I don't want to use a Shark Tank, so I don't want to get in trouble for intellectual property, but a mini show where we have 2 or 3 people present their ideas, and then if the crowd or if us want to fund an investment, we can. Can we get away with it on this show, or is that a little too often?
No, of course you can. You can invest in anything you want to invest in.
But I'm saying, but do it on the show.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
What do you think? Well, first of all, Vinny just needs to give us his Starbucks money, and he'll get 20% of anything.
No.
But Vinny, what do you
Vinny
think?
will be the backing, and
Vinny, what do you think of the idea?
I think it's excellent.
Joe?
Entertainment purposes.
Well, the other part too is if you commit to a deal, obviously you do your due diligence, and then if you don't do a deal, you don't do a deal. But I was thinking of something like that because I do get approached about some really good ideas that, some I'm interested, some I'm not. Some I'm like I could do as a service provider for marketing, but I'm like, you know what? Like,
I will give them free consulting, finance consulting on raising capital for that business.
JSV Capital.
It's not a bad idea. I would say Jason funds the show with a check, so we get paid as showing up, and then he'll also give us the money to invest
Yes.
on a forgivable loan.
Yep.
I was hoping he would do that on my show.
Yeah,
Not,
fund us.
You know,
We just-
I'm
Yeah.
only one person, so
Mob Entertainment Group. Here
Here comes the lone segue.
You know what? I am not that smart. But that was pretty damn good.
Jason, you know how you can show how the loan works, honestly? I'll dox it. Loan me money first. And I'll tell them all how it works.
Perfect.
There you go. I've lost a lot of money.
Oh, there we go, Mo. That is true. So, quick to kind of segue to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Why do people have such a hard time getting money for the business, Jason? Because you see like the shows, you see all this different stuff. It's like kind of like, fairy tale. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty of getting a check, why is it so hard to get money?
You should watch my show because last night we did a half hour on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
till 3 a.m.
Well, nobody was watching.
Right.
Yeah,
Only the good people.
That's right.
If it's a startup, investors want to see that you invested in yourself. That's it. If people want to go and say, I have a great business idea, or I want to buy this salon. It's already making money. Okay, well, what says that you're going to continue to make it grow and make money? You don't want to put up 20 grand of your own money, yet you want to risk somebody else's money. See, people think that, oh, no, you have money, so give me money and I'll run this business. That's not how it works. You have to invest in yourself to have investors invest in you. It's
Okay,
if you're a startup.
So once if you're looking to put some skin in the game and you say, hey, you know what? I need 100 grand. I'm going to put 20K of my own money in. Right?
A little more than that, but I would say maybe 30, 40%. And yes, you can.
What about assets? Like meaning, hey, I got a few bucks. Like for me personally, I'm not like super liquid. But if assets are tied up, can you asset back your stuff for startups and loans or no?
Yeah. You have like real estate, you're saying? Like you have property, you want to put something up like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's collateral.
Yeah.
Hard money loans, yeah.
What about
But people want to go in risk free with somebody else's money, which is crazy.
Smart.
And then not only that, they have poor credit scores, and we don't think people are going to look into your financial accounting, right? How you do with your finances. Now I'm going to give you 100 grand. Banks, and when I say banks, look at that all the time. Forget lenders, private lenders.
Well, you also do a lot of loans for existing businesses as well as people approach you for startups. What are some of the trends you've seen for A, why people are asking for money, and B, where are they trying to invest? Because that seems like if you're like as a finance guy,
it's cash flow. I see most of the deal is cash flow. They're low on cash flow. They have revenue. They have money coming in, and it's just as fast as it comes in, as fast as it goes out.
Is it a positive thing because you're scaling for growth, or is or poor money management?
All the time. It's equipment. As far as like say trucking, guys want to buy another tractor and a trailer. That's 100 grand. It's always if a restaurant owner wants to buy, remodel the kitchen. It's always most of the deals. Is to upgrade their business. Yes, to grow their business.
Well, the other part too is I try to recommend people to you. And they're like, oh, so and so doesn't have credit. FinFreak asks, what's a good score?
A good score if you're an existing business owner or you're a startup. There's two different ways to look at it.
Startup.
If you're a startup, you have to have over a 700 in all three bureaus. If you're a startup, you have to have over 700. If you're an existing owner, here's the thing: if you're an existing owner, now the lender says, "Oh, you have experience, so we're going to go on that experience, and you have revenue coming in. You have money, so you know what you're doing. You just need a little help here, right?" So that's why we lessen the score if you're already in business. Okay, we see the experience and we see the revenue. So that's why we're more lenient on the score, and we can go all the way down to a 500 credit score if you're in business already. But if you're a startup, go ahead.
I'm sorry, 750 is pretty much puts you in the other tier, though, right? Of most.
No, I said 700 if you're a startup.
What's
but
great credit?
generally speaking,
780?
750.
Up?
Different interest rate. If you have a 750.
Yeah, once you're at 780, from there it's all the same. 780,
Okay.
800, 850. That it's all the same. Yeah, I mean, a guy with a 780 credit score is going to get the same interest as a guy with a 840 credit.
What would you say the average credit score is for the loans you make?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 600s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mo brought a good point. He goes, if you kind of need money to cover payroll, that's not a good sign. So I'm with like, hey, we're scaling. But if you need money to cover payroll, do you ever like refer
What are you
to
talking
the
about? You want to
accountant?
hire more people. You want to hire more people. Oh, I just got a big construction job. What do you think? You're going to get paid on the first day of the job? No, you're not going to get paid till 30 days out. But you need 5 more guys. You got to pay those 5 guys $1,000 a week, right? That's $5,000 a week. So now you need 20 grand just to cover your nut because you got a new job. That's payroll money. What do you mean you're in trouble for payroll? No, you're not.
Okay. Fair assessment. What's your biggest ding?
My wife told me I'm a little too intense with this conversation.
You get intense over anything. What do you want? What do you want for breakfast? Give me an eggs Benedict, eggs Benedict, and coffee.
Listen, you gotta be passionate in life.
Michigan.
Oh, sorry, babe. I'm almost done anyway. I'm just making fun of Jason. What's the biggest ding on a credit score?
The biggest thing on a credit score. No, payments. Missed payments.
Missed payments, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about if you want to repair your credit, but you just don't have the 1,500 for repair or $3,000 for repair?
Call your. Don't worry about the bureaus. The bureaus, forget about it. Call the creditors, and you can work out paying it off. And once it's paid off, they'll send you a letter, a notarized letter, and they'll send it to the bureaus. And you can have a contract with them that once it's paid off, they will remove it from your from the bureau.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so the best way. So okay, you have something that went into collections, right? Don't pay it off, but you need that collections to come off your credit. Call that company, work out an arrangement. Maybe you can pay it in full if it's only a couple hundred, or maybe it's a couple thousand. You have to make payments. But once you're done paying it off, okay, they'll write a letter and a contract.
There's a name for that when you say, "Hey, listen,"
and the late payments too. So if you have late payments, let's say you're late on car payments, call the creditor. You have to get current, and once you are current, you can negotiate them taking it off your credit.
Do you do it before as a contingency, or after it's done, and hope they do?
Well, if it's a late payment, they're going to say we're not going to talk about any of this until you become current. So get current on a credit card, and then negotiate them taking that off of the credit bureau.
How much is go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Getting another credit card, what it does is it lowers your indebtedness. So if you're at 88% of your credit, if you have 25, you get 35. You're at 78%, 76, and they go a lot by also. What's the ideal? You shouldn't have over 30%, right, of credit indebtedness, right, from your credit line. If you have 100,000 worth of credit, you shouldn't have.
I'm at 10 a year at 10%.
At 10%, yeah.
Look at this fucker.
How much does collateral
Eating on the fucking screen?
What?
Fuck. Nothing.
I'm starving here. I mean, we're going an hour. It's Sunday now. It's Sunday afternoon. I didn't eat breakfast, and now I went to the lunch hour.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up soon so Jason can eat and then yell maybe like at his family because he always just has to yell. Does collateral help, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk collateral, we're not talking about your used, Joey's used 1985 Chevy in the back. Collateral real estate helps.
85 Eldorado Baritz, my friend.
And then personal credit score, yeah, over 700 is decent, right?
Yeah, you're good to go over 700 in any category.
Okay, this is funny because Jason's. I don't know if you guys know he has a troll account and he has like a secondary account, and it's Eddie. And what does Eddie say? Why the F isn't JSV on more often? This is good stuff.
Yeah,
I can't.
that's
Who does
that's the
that? Who
mobile.
does that?
I will be. Eddie, thank you. I will be on more often.
Yeah.
Good morning, Joe Shinebox. I hope you're feeling
Hey,
okay.
Shinebox, Yankees for life. What up?
Box, how are you, buddy?
Boston Red. I didn't see it, man. 2002 Sebring is great collateral. If you have a 2002 Sebring, okay, let's face it, you got money and you don't need the loan, so your shit will be denied.
Agreed. All right, we got to let Jason eat in peace. So let's wrap it up. Vinny, I'll start with you. Closing remarks.
Well, I'll start off with Aussie. I love you too. The closing remarks. Listen, last night I'm still on a high from yesterday. I think it's amazing. I'm going to keep on doing the St. Jude for 2 weeks, and you guys have really been. You guys, along with the commenters and subscribers, have. I wouldn't have been able to do any of it on my side without you, and thank you so much, and you guys for always supporting me.
Awesome. Joe?
I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat that was very nice and made some nice comments and, you know, just like spending the day with us. And then there's certain other people, you know, that I'll see on the next channel
2
and the
o'clock.
next channel and the next channel and the next channel and the next channel. And they'll be talking the same shit. So,
Okay, ready?
Carmine owns a 1970 Chevelle manual transmission. That's
What
my
time?
collateral. Yo,
Joey.
I can't believe some people
I'm sorry,
come here
Joey,
and
2
with
o'clock for
that,
us. So
wanting money.
So, Jason, closing remarks.
Great day yesterday. Very proud of you guys and what we accomplished. That was awesome meeting everybody.
thank
And
you.
we do it more often. And yeah, everybody, happy Sunday.
I just want to close this out. Number one, thanks for the 4 guys that showed up. Thanks for everybody that contributed directly and indirectly. And thank you for being part of this community. That's what I'm going to start calling it. We're going to be grassroots. We're going to build brick by brick. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this community. We don't want to be just another channel, but actually part of a community network that helps people out in need and that does the right thing. And like I always say, I think we're turning a corner here as a team. I think the channel Armchair is turning a corner, which I'm excited about. So I'm just kind of see what's around that corner, the opportunities that grow. And like I always say, it's not where you start, but it's where you finish.